Hey fam, hope you're having a good day. Today I want to do a bit of an extended market overview, not a brief overview on the market, to summarize all our recent thoughts regarding BTC and key indexes in the crypto market and beyond. So starting from BTC, our macro bias has been rather negative for a few weeks now since BTC printed a weekly bearish divergence and lost a huge diagonal trend line it has been following throughout the cycle. Then it closed below 100k on the weekly, in fact 2 weekly closes in a row. It looks like it's gonna close another week below this 100k area, which is not macro positive. Nevertheless, we did have a good reaction from the 80k zone, although I find it really difficult to believe that this is a significant bottom before significant new highs. The reason for that is that we don't have any higher time frame bullish divergence, and on the greater scheme of things, as I said, BTC remains in a rather negative trend. So in the short run, what I would expect is a rejection from that 94 to 90k zone, come back below 84k, all the way down potentially towards 77, 76, with a higher time frame divergence like we have seen multiple times this cycle here in April 2025, but even before that here in August 2024. As I said before, all significant bottoms and tops had higher time frame divergences. We don't have that yet, but the good news is that we have a lot of time to print it, because a 3-day divergence, for example, takes multiple weeks to print, and we can print divergences up to the 3-day. If we do not print a divergence at all and we shoot straight for 100k, I would be more confident that this would be a bearish retest and a lower high, because we don't have the significant accumulation phase for BTC as we have seen in previous bottoms to suggest that we could reach higher levels in the next few weeks. If we zoom out a bit on the weekly chart, the 100k area would be an area where we would be testing the simple moving average on the weekly. We have currently found acceptance below this area for the first time this cycle, as you can see here. So in addition to 100k being a resistance zone, it also has now the weekly simple moving average, and in addition to that, we also found acceptance at an RSI weekly level that is below 45. Remember, this green box here has been serving as support for a very long time. We have now found acceptance, and we could be printing a bearish retest here as well at the 100k area, give or take, and I would expect that from that zone we reject and then see lower levels. To draw parallels to last cycle, after BTC printed a monthly bearish divergence just like it did now, it dropped quite significantly and then retested the simple moving average before going lower. We have a very similar setup right now, so could see something very similar happening, unless we get these 2-3-day bullish divergences that would add confluence, that we could not only reach this zone but maybe even change the negative macro trend. And as long as we don't have these higher time frame divergences, I think any retest of this zone here could be considered a bearish retest. So long story short, the market has changed. We did have 30% dips before here and here, just like we have it now, but in my view the context is significantly different because of everything that we discussed, and it's also the first 30% drop after losing this diagonal trend line and after printing a monthly bearish divergence for BTC. And all other indexes like total market cap, total 2 and total 3, they all have monthly bearish divergences, and it is also the first 30% drop for BTC after DXY reached macro range lows. As I said before, BTC has always topped out significantly after DXY bottomed at this macro range lows, and it has also bottomed after DXY topped at macro range high. So we are currently at this zone. Like, we have reason to believe that from this area the DXY index could rise further, potentially in some years even towards range high. So this adds confluence that this 30% drop is not necessarily comparable to the previous two 30% drops in the market. Other indexes show a very similar picture. BTC USDTD dominance lost a weekly level after a monthly bearish divergence, came to our first breakdown target from where it has shown a good short-term reaction, which was also among the reasons why BTC managed to bounce back from 80k to 91, 92. Nevertheless, the macro trend remains negative here as well. The weekly RSI could print a bearish retest, and if it comes close to this dashed box here, that would add confluence that we could print a lower high on more higher time frames. So many indexes look the same. Even if we look at total market cap, for example, lost a significant trend on the weekly. We're printing a bearish retest here Now, on more lower time frames, I would expect something very similar as for BTC, come back toward 2.65 trillion and print a 3-day bullish divergence. If that was the case, I would be more confident that we could get back close towards recent highs without a higher time frame bullish divergence. For me, it is very difficult to speculate on a change of trend. And remember, if we zoom out on this, also had a monthly bearish divergence recently, which is not a very positive macro signal that suggests that in the next few months, we could see significantly lower levels for total market cap and obviously the rest of the market as well. So these are a few things that we need to pay attention to. Remember, we have the monthly close on Sunday. We will discuss the monthly close for BTC and all indexes that we follow to further inform our macro bias. So I hope this is helpful. Have a good weekend and stay safe trading, fam. Cheers.